I didn't know either, then I heard footsteps up like those heavy.
I can't.
I just heard clap, 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 and I was like, that's a horse running right next to me.
Yes, you can call me sheep. You can say I'm lazy. You can say I'm weak.
You can run much faster than me though. Look taller than I really am.
Hang on,
I'll take
there,
it.
now you all look really tall.
I'll take it. So today we're gonna shoot a running scene for a video. So I'm gonna be entering the Noble Film Festival, and I'm shooting a running scene with my friend Annette today, who is a professional runner. Professional.
Hi, my name's Annette. I'm 28 years old. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I train for and compete in road races. I'm not a professional runner, I'm just a competitive runner.
That sounds professional if you ask me. I won't show the full length of the Noble project, that'll come later in a video, but we're gonna film some of the behind the scenes of how to shoot somebody running, either ideas and tips on how to do it correctly or what to look for, or different styles and techniques while you're using it. And today I'm using my camera. I'm gonna shoot everything on 4K. In the post-production of this, I'll kind of show the behind the scenes and kind of what we had out of it. So that's what we're doing.
Let's get running.
Watch a pro. Watch a pro today. Right?
I walked right by him. I didn't even know it was him.
Oh,
ignored me.
It was like yesterday.
Okay.
Just blatantly ignored me.
They're bone conduction headphones, so they don't go in your ears.
Yeah.
They just go
Oh,
against.
these are the ears.
That's a lot safer to run in, right? Because you can still hear.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Run with your ears open. That's the like mod or whatever.
I do not do that at all. I wear like noise canceling shit. I should not do that at all.
So you know when you're running.
So we'll have you sit down on like a rock, like right there, and then we'll do a few close-ups of that. Also, the thing with Noble is they said to not have a commercial, and I had one guy wearing those shoes. So I'm gonna show some other shoes just to like kind of even it out. All 4K. I blew through like 200 gigs in like 5 minutes last time. You want to switch shoes and do the same thing? A warm up, like what would be like a normal warm up? If you do like a normal warm up, yeah, do it. Would it be like a jogging back and forth, or is it more of a static?
It would be a dynamic, like I'll walk from one point to another doing stretches.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's good right there. Perfect. Okay. You ever done a beer mile?
No.
Oh,
Never done a beer mile. Never done a donut mile either. Apparently that's a thing. I don't know how my stomach would take it.
Oh, we got to do a beer mile.
We'll see.
I really want to do a beer mile. Come over here. You're gonna run around to here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to get like a sun flare from here, and I'm gonna try to track your face if I can. Nice. Not everything's gonna be smooth and stable, so we're gonna have to kind of jump through like how the scene's gonna play out. Like she's gonna go from point A to point B. How do we show that, portraying it when someone's moving? So we're gonna have to change a lot of the scenes around and jump around from being like a shot where she's gonna face towards us, it's gonna connect with a turn, and then it's gonna end with the feet leaving the scene. So that's just one example of how you're connecting a scene that's running, whereas you're not static at a gym, showing a cool highlight reel. You have to try to connect the story a little bit better and maintain that, because sometimes it's hard. You might not have focus or tracking or something that's stable. And outdoors, you'll also have a lot of people. So things to keep in mind when you're gonna shoot runners. The other thing that's interesting is you gotta pick a side, because if you're changing from one person going this direction, then going back this direction in the scene, and you do that too many times, kind of screws up the flow of what you got going on. So you gotta pick a direction that you have to start with and try to maintain that as best as you can. And live you go.
How would you describe good running form?
You want to be upright with a slight forward lean. You need a really strong core to be able to do that for a long period of time. You don't want to hold your arms up too high. You don't want to have dinosaur arms. You also don't want to carry them too low. So right at the pockets, little trick, pretend you're holding a potato chip between your fingers. You don't want to squeeze them so hard that you would crack the potato chip. In and out of your pocket, so right at the hips there. Shoulders back, you don't want to have a hunchback. And look forward. One of the biggest mistakes I see with people is they look down when they're running. And you don't want to look down, you want to look up, you want to see where you're going, your target, your competition, the finish line, whatever you're running towards.
I've been running with my eyes closed this whole time.
Ah, shit.
She didn't say keep your eyes open. She's smarter than us.
And faster.
Yeah, she's smarter and faster. Yikes. Yeah, we got some things to improve on, Andy. All right, we're good.
Hold on.
Right?
So cool.
Holy stable.
That looks really cool. Wait, stop with the horse references.
That wasn't even on purpose.
It's like pretty good for handheld running.
Yeah,
'Cause for me,
handheld
like, when I go on a
running is
great,
gimbal-
right?
Slow motion for 4K, I don't feel the need to use 120 entirely, especially when it gets darker, because then you have to crank up the ISO. Kind of offset that, we're gonna shoot at 60 for most of this, and then I can do speed ramping if I need to, but it's also gonna be more stable. The more frames you have, the more you have to work with in general. Still gonna shoot in C-Log for everything, so post-production coloring should be top-notch. Top-notch.
His gymnastic past.
No.
You know about my career path?
What? No? Oh my god.
It was OnlyFans. Look at her face.
I knew there was something about you, man. I knew.
We always have an OnlyFans reference in every video. Do you want some action shots? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna. You want me to run towards you?
I mean, if you want some action shots.
Yeah, I want action shots.
Do the High School Musical jump?
No.
Jeez.
Yeah.
We always get one creepy old guy per video. One.
For other runners looking to work with videographers, I recommend this one. Check out the video. Hope you guys like it. And it just takes a little bit of patience and a lot of fun. Oh my god, it's so cheesy. Oh my god.
Post-production, I'll jump into it and finish up the rest of the video. And that was it. We got a pro runner here, literally a pro. And so that's what's happening.
How do you do that with yourself?
Fucking lightning fast.
Anyways, I hope you liked that part of the video. I was just going through the final edits for this part of the video, which is a highlight reel for the No Bull film project, so I can give it out to people. I'm making each person that I film with a highlight reel. It is a running scene, which I'll show right next to me as I talk through a little bit of the editing breakdown, but we're not gonna get into super finite detail, but I'll give you some of the basics on my thoughts and what I thought about how to edit a running video versus what I would have done next time, and maybe some things that can hopefully help you. Basics for the video, the fundamentals are still tried and true, gonna be exactly the same, but this becomes a little bit more of a finesse depending on the kind of gear you have versus what you're gonna shoot for a running video and how to make something cinematic. I think one of the biggest benefits for me personally with my camera is that it has really good autofocusing capabilities, which surprisingly, despite how good it is when somebody's running full sprint at you or past you and you wanna try to capture, pinpoint exactly where they're at if you're gonna shoot at a 2.8, you still might have a little bit of issues being able to track focus that quickly. No matter your lens, if it's a native lens to your camera, it's still gonna be a problem. So it's something to keep in mind because you're not gonna have clarity of focus with a super fast lens at all times. But that brings us to a second point, which is I had some help for this video. So there's a couple scenes that you'll see on the sidebar here that show me running in front of somebody and it's completely smooth, almost from an upward angle, and that's because I shot outside the sunroof of my car and had somebody help me while they were driving. And this became really crucial to have some of the pieces linked together from the side of the car as well as from the top of the car and be able to piece that story together as this person is running through a neighborhood. The Pittsburgh skyline was important to show this person traveling from an urban area or from a park all the way to the city where they're seeing the city as the sun's going down, which I thought was a good way to end this part of the video. So we have our camera gear, we have somebody that can assist you, and then one of our last things is that you're gonna be outdoors and you're gonna be working with potentially somebody who's not normally on camera. This is not to say that this person isn't, but typically these athletes and a lot of the athletes that I've worked with, they like to have an Instagram, they like to have photos, but they're not necessarily gonna be good at performance acting. So you have to keep that in mind and keep things as organic as you can, make things more comfortable. All of my behind the scenes videos are fun because I enjoy making them even when it's a big project with my hands really dug straight into it, knowing that like everything's on the line if I screw it up, or all these people that help me and I don't want to let them down, but I still had a good time with this project. What I noticed with working with all of these people, not just her, is that when I have more fun with them, they have more fun doing the project, and therefore they're more comfortable and more relaxed. Unlike a normal model who might be trying to strike poses, this is really keeping them in their environment and keeping the best factors of them, you know, showcasing it as they're doing their sport, which is easier said than done sometimes, but luckily for her, she crushed it on camera. She's really good at running, and she gave us some actually really solid tips and advice on how to run, because obviously I have to run for work in the military, but I am no professional or competitive runner by any stretch of the imagination. I would say overall it's very fun to shoot some type of video like this where you're outside, you get to enjoy the outdoors, you get to work with somebody that maybe you don't get the chance to work with, you get to learn something new, and you're testing your camera's capabilities as well as your own capabilities. How stable can you be? Can you pull and track focus? How many ideas can you have when you're outside? in a different environment, purposely trying to find somewhere that's unique and different and really piecing together that story. Having a good framework going in and knowing the basics are still going to be the most helpful thing when shooting a video like this, even when it gets a little complex. I encourage everyone to try to make a video like this or enter a film festival where it really pushes your boundaries, because it's really pushing mine to try things that I never would have done or never would have thought of doing. That's all I got for this video. I don't have anything else to say besides next week. Check out the video before this thing closes all the way. Then next week I will have the actual No Bull film project video online on YouTube for next Tuesday. So make sure to subscribe down below, like the video, give me a comment. That's all I got. Have a good one. Later.